The mainstream media is in hysterics as President Trump assumes office.
The inaugural address has gone from a president saying, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country, to drill, baby, drill.
Trump himself didn't have many executive orders the first time around on January 20th. So he has decided to make good on his promise to be a dictator on day one.
It's a little like a cult leader who keeps predicting different days for the end of the world.
Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. Now, Joe, I'm no media expert like you. I would never pretend to be, but it seems to me the left-wing media not taking Trump 2.0 very well.
Oh, Todd, this rhetoric was to be expected from the likes of a Chris Hayes, for example, you just played there last, calling the 78 million people who voted for Donald Trump and is the 47th president as part of a cult. Wow, that's one big cult. As for Lawrence O'Donnell, who was also in that montage, his interview last week with Joe Biden, just to tell you how little influence and viewers these folks have at this point. His final interview with Biden last week was the equivalent of a rhetorical hot stone massage, and reruns, and I'm not joking here, reruns of Seinfeld, Family Guy, Friends, The Office, and an episode of South Park all had more viewers than the outgoing interview that the sitting president had on MSNBC, and obviously Gutfeld crushed Lawrence O'Donnell at 10 o'clock as well. So MSNBC might have more employees than viewers at this point. Ultimately, no matter what happened yesterday, an historic, unprecedented day, the hyperbole on steroids was going to be, we knew it was coming, let's put it that way, from so many outlets across the dial, not just MSNBC, but CNN, as you played, ABC, CBS, NBC. And the whole thing with Elon Musk just did a Nazi salute during a speech yesterday. It brought back memories of Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden, which was dubbed as an ode to Nazis because said Nazis held, a rally there 85 years ago? But, oh, yeah, that's right. There were 3 Democratic National Conventions that were also held there. So the influence of legacy media all but dead. And this is where we're at this point. Echo chambers, dishonesty, never good for business, and nothing's going to change over the next 4 years for Donald Trump. The resistance is what we're going to see from media instead of just playing the role of journalists as they purport to be.
Yeah, just quickly on the Elon Musk thing, the ADL came out and said, not a Nazi salute, so that should end it right there.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Well, there was round-the-clock coverage, of course, of this inauguration, so here's more reaction on MSNBC regarding some of the big tech CEOs who were in attendance yesterday. Listen to this.
All right.
Apple CEO Tim Cook, how is this happening?
Only in America.
How is this happening? Why are people with tons of money up on the dais with cabinet nominees and family members?
It is a message, and I think I think they are up there for the very reason that you probably think they're up there.
And, Joe, that reminded me of middle school, when a group of girls would say, wait a second, those people can't sit together at the lunch table. The big tech CEOs with tons of money, they sit with us. Except this isn't middle school. This is a presidential inauguration, and it's a good thing when people from all corners of the country come together to celebrate it. Just ask John Fetterman, who was in attendance in his basketball shorts yesterday.
That's right. Hoodie and shorts. The guy is consistent when it comes to his fashion. Look, more billionaires donated to Kamala Harris and Democrats than they did to Donald Trump during this last election season. So I don't want to hear about money. You're right. That commentary is missing everything but Lindsay Lohan in the burn book, right? And tech moguls didn't say that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Those tech moguls didn't say that Donald Trump was an agent of the Kremlin. Those tech moguls that were up there yesterday didn't say Joe Biden was as sharp as, behind the scenes as Stephen Hawking, and when it was clear that his brain turned to applesauce. It's just all so silly, and it's just more fear-mongering. And the difference with Trump this time around, as opposed to 2017 when he came into office, is that business and tech leaders are all now willing to work with him, while the media obviously doesn't like that very much and will do everything to work against him.
Yeah, they're the last line of defense in their eyes, so they're going to act like it. Meantime, President Biden handing down last-minute family pardons despite saying this in 2020.
Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons.
Oh, really?
Biden says you're not going to see it, but Joe, we saw it right as the shot clock expired.
Seriously, like 15 minutes before he left office. And if all these members of the Biden family did nothing wrong, or if Dr. Anthony Fauci or Mark Milley or Liz Cheney or Benny Thompson or anybody you see on your screen did nothing wrong, why on earth would they need a preemptive pardon? Unless, well, maybe they did something wrong. I mean, why else would you have to do that? But it's a horrible precedent. Overall, guys, 8,064 pardons by Joe Biden going out the door, compared to Donald Trump, who only had 237. So this is why he will exit as the most unpopular president of our lifetimes. Just all petty, vindictive, no class whatsoever, and he will be forgotten quite quickly.
Well, there's going to be a whole lot for you to cover over the next 4 years, Joe. Thank you so much for kicking off your day 2, first full day of President Trump's second term with us. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.